if you've been listening recently, and anybody who has been listening recently, I had my friend John Gimble out. I've been talking about him a ton, and his new girlfriend Jessica. We're sitting around a fire. We're good and drunk. I mean, just like good and drunk, so that I shouldn't even remember what we talked about. But his girlfriend said, "You're not selling books because you don't believe that you deserve to sell books," something along those lines.
Yeah.
And it hit like a ton of bricks. I
Yeah.
I knew immediately when she said it that it was true. So the
Yeah.
next morning, I get up. I'm taking my dog for a walk. It's 5:30 or so in the morning, and I think the only book I know about the law of attraction is The Secret. So yeah,
Yeah.
I know,
Great,
right?
great place to start. Great place
Yeah.
to start.
So I looked it up, and all the copies were borrowed at my library. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll check it out when I can. So I put a hold on it. And before I had even put my phone down, it said your hold is ready. And I was like, well, that's eerie. Yeah. So I
Hmm.
checked it out and I started listening. And I can't tell you how many times through that book that my rational brain wanted to say, this is bullshit. This is
Yeah.
not real. This is not
Yes.
true. And I just kept telling myself, set aside your expectations, set aside what you think is there,
Right.
and just listen.
Yes.
And it changed my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen,
So I
look,
reached out to you and I said, did you know about this? And you go ahead, tell your part of the story, because you were like, hell yeah.
I was like, heck yeah. How do you think I like have been able to accomplish all of these like crazy
That's right.
things in my career? And I can go real woo woo with the law of
Yes.
attraction really quick.
Yeah.
But because part of it is like spiritual, it doesn't matter what you believe in actually either. It's like you are co-creating with whatever God or thing you
Yes.
believe in. So it's not like, right, it's about your individual journey, but also believing
Yeah.
that the things you want can happen.
Yeah.
And when you believe, you start to train your brain to pay attention to more opportunities, and you
Mm,
actually start helping yourself. You
yeah.
start helping yourself in a different way than if you were just hoping for a result, right? There's a difference
Mm,
between hoping to sell 1 million copies and believing that you actually will.
that's right.
And yeah, I am so deep into the law of attraction, like, and they have these scientists that like break it down on like a quantum physics level,
Yes.
and they talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
how like the universe actually matches and I can't because I'm not like a scientist, but like
Sure.
the universe matches our like brain wavelengths. So like when you
Yeah.
think something, it actually connects to another atom that is attached, and then it moves the stuff around to get you what you want. I believe in all that.
Yeah. Me too.
So I believe in it
I
because I have evidence that it has worked over and over and over again in my life.
right. Me too. Yeah, I mean, well, and I say that as like I'm a month in. I'm 1 month into this whole thing. Weirdest thing that I have not told anybody else about except my wife is uh we were in Cincinnati for the Comic Expo. I was helping out some friends sell some books and learning how to do this thing in person. And
Mhm.
we went to a Chinese restaurant downtown, just walking distance from the expo, and
Mhm.
eat the whole dinner. And fortune cookies come around.
Mhm.
This is truly, this is it.
Mhm.
The fortune cookie I got said, whether you believe you can or you believe you can't,
Look,
you're right.
that's the universe speaking to you, or
And
God, or
I
whoever you believe it. I'm telling
was
you.
floored. I was like,
No,
everybody else got shitty fortune cookies, but
yo,
I got this amazing fortune cookie. And I was
yeah,
like, there's no question
it
that
gets
the
kind of
universe is
scary.
speaking to me. It
Yeah,
does.
no.
Yeah, it
So
does.
so I was getting like really good at manifesting,
Yeah.
and one time I manifested something that freaked me out because it happened so quick and it was so specific. Like
No kidding.
I wanted to work with this specific guy, and he's a very
Okay.
obscure guy. Like,
Yeah.
and I like did my law of attraction stuff and manifested it.
No kidding.
And like in 24 hours, I got an email from this man asking me to
Oh my
be on a
gosh.
panel at Comic Con, and I like,
Oh my
no, it actually
gosh.
scared me. It
Yeah, of
actually
course.
because it was like such an it was this person. It was just like a random person, but a big name in comics,
Yeah.
and it kind of like it tripped me out.
Oh, I believe it.
So you can
I
get,
believe it.
because when you practice
Yeah.
manifesting and you can get really good at it.
Yeah. Yeah. I do want to talk too about the fact that there are, I want to say, bumps in the road. A couple of things we'll talk about in this conversation, and I will also just like hear you out too,
Yes,
because that's
yes,
why we're here.
please, please.
But Grant Cardone is another person that we've talked about in the past. He has never called it the law of manifestation, but if you really listen closely to who he is, he's practicing it. I don't know what he would call it. I suspect he might even call it bullshit. But
Right, he definitely
yet,
would.
yet when you listen to him talk, he uses the language of the law of manifestation. He actually uses the language, and I think that you and I both really like him quite well because
Yeah.
of who he is as a person and what he's done in his life. So I guess I'm curious, what is the part of all of this that it happens whether we want it to or not? Like how long in your life did you go not realizing that this was happening and it was still just happening?
Yeah. So I think we go all of our lives manifesting things, good and bad, but we don't know that we are.
Mhm.
And some of the really terrible things that have happened to me in my life, I know that I manifested them because of
Mm,
repetitive negative thoughts over like a sustained period of time
mm,
when I did not realize the power of my brain. Like this
yeah,
thing in our heads is more powerful than we can comprehend. Your brain can literally rationalize any decision that you actually want to make.
yeah, that's
You can
right.
you can like our brains are powerful. I don't think we give them enough respect, and it can actually manifest things that we believe that we should have or
Yeah,
want. Things that we want.
yeah.
But I always like I think people want things to happen quickly. And
Mm,
some of the things you manifest will happen very quickly and it will be scary. And some of them won't. But along the way, you can't hope. You have to believe that they will
mm,
happen. It's like when you want to have a baby, the baby just doesn't come tomorrow. It's a
yeah,
9 month gestation period
that's
for
right.
the baby to come. So these dreams that you're manifesting, the universe has to move things. And when it
Yeah,
moves things for you, it is moving things for other people
yeah,
because it only can work through us,
that's right.
right?
So I am really curious. I'm curious about the time, because I think that what you said is absolutely true. You cannot have a baby in 5 days. It takes 9 to 10 months. I've been there 3 times, and, you know, 3.5. But there's also things that feel bigger to us than they actually are. And I'm really curious about that. Along our journey, you and um, I think I may be wrong, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that you reached out to me because at the time you really wanted to get a literary agent, somebody who was a heavy hitter who could help bring your books into the traditional publishing world. I have failed you in giving you the mindset and helping to frame this process the way that got the agent. Like we didn't do that.
Hmm.
We
Hmm.
failed together.
Yeah.
You hold some of that. I hold pretty much all of that. It's pretty much all my fault
No, it's
because,
not.
yeah, no, it is. It truly is, and I apologize. But I'm curious now, thinking back on these last 12 months, this last year, uh, what could we have done differently to manifest this goal? Because I think both of us
Okay.
know that we could have done it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So one thing I want to correct you on because I visualized and wanted two things. A
Yeah.
writing coach. A
Yeah.
writing coach was one, and an agent. And I'll get to the manifestation and the agent thing in a second.
Yeah.
You are my manifestation. I wanted a writing coach. I feel like you have been a writing coach. Just the fact that I get to work through my writing career with you for this last
Yeah.
year is exactly what I manifested.
Cool.
And the fact that you were willing to do it is just a testament to the manifestation.
Yeah.
Like period. Right?
Yeah.
Like how the heck did I find you on Twitter and we're here talking? Like that doesn't
Right.
that's right.
Yeah.
The agent thing. I think that when you want to bring something into your life and you want to reach a goal, you have to be 100% committed to it.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm 100% committed to actually
Wow.
getting an agent because
Yeah.
there is a part of me that wants to be the underdog. There is a
Ah,
part of me that wants
wow.
to be like, I did this. I don't want to curse on your podcast. I did this without an agent. There is a big part of me
Yeah.
that wants to be
Wow.
standing up on stage, winning like an Oscar, saying, guess what? I did it without an agent and you can too.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So
Wow.
when it
Wow. Wow.
comes to manifesting, there can't be any of that. You got
Mm,
to be full on committed that you believe you're going to have this thing and this is the thing that you want.
yeah.
But I
Mm,
see, like, the problem with people manifesting their goals is they change them every few weeks. I want to
oh,
be a million, right? Right? And you're confusing the universe. The universe
yeah.
can't bring you anything if you're not committed to it.
Yeah.
So that's my perspective on
Wow.
the agent. There is a piece of me. I know there is. It's like
Yeah.
as much as I want an agent, there's a piece of me that wants to be like, no, I did it without one. Like I want that to be my story.
Wow.
So I'm not really manifesting an agent.
Yeah. Uh, like I said, about a month ago is when this all came to me. Thank you, Jessica. Again, thank you. Um, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of that week. So Jessica and John came on Wednesday. We got good and drunk on Wednesday night. She delivered the bad news to me that I was doing this to myself. I started reading The Secret on Thursday. Friday, I sold 4 book deals.
Mhm.
Saturday, I sold 6 book deals. Sunday, I sold 8 book deals. I changed nothing about what I was doing. I've been doing this ammo program. You know all about it. I've been doing it
Yep.
for a while. I
Yep.
literally changed nothing. I didn't change the ad. I didn't change the website. I just started to say book sales come easily and frequently. Book
Exactly. Oh yeah,
sales
you got to
come
say
easily
that.
and frequently.
I'm
Book
so
sales.
happy. I'm so happy and grateful that I have books.
I'm so
Yes.
thankful and I'm so
Yes. Yes.
grateful. Yeah. Oh, that I'm a best-selling author. Yeah, exactly. But the weird thing is that those 3 days, I was in that space, that headspace of zero questions, just belief. Like this is going to work.
Yep.
Holy hell, did it ever work?
Yep.
Now, I think that part of this conversation then banks on the fact that I have been raised my entire life to believe that hard work is the only way we get where we go. And you and I have had so many conversations about hard work. There's value in it. Um, I could go on and on. This is your conversation right now. It's not me, but I could go on and on about how I actually love hard work, but that I don't want to be the guy who uh, is identified as he did it by hard work. I want to be the guy when people look at me, I want people to look at me and be like, he's so lucky. And I want to be
Mhm.
like, yes, you're right. I am
Mhm.
so lucky. I didn't do
Mhm.
anything to get this. Um, it just happened to be. So those 3 days were kind of like that. And then I think I had that moment like Wile E. Coyote. I looked down and I was like, oh, gravity. Whoops. And
Yep.
ever since then, it has been a bit of a wrestle. I still am doing so much better than I ever was because I
Yep.
still embrace the idea, but that like full on belief.
Yes.
How do you do it? I mean, I don't know that you are doing it, but as much as
No, I'm
you
doing it.
are, talk to me. Yeah.
Oh, you gotta, it's like you have to read and remind yourself every day. So you started with The Secret. Now you got to get into these other self-help law of attraction books and you have to like read them every day because you need a constant reminder.
Yeah.
It's you're actually like rewiring your brain
Yeah.
and think about all the years where you didn't believe in this stuff. Your brain is
Yeah.
hardwired. Your brain is hardwired to tell you, nah, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Right? There's a
Yeah.
term for it. It's called upper limiting. When we get what we want, we ruin
Mm,
it. That's what your brain,
absolutely.
it's like when the best day you can have,
Hmm.
all of a sudden your mind starts worrying about something. You worry about
That's
losing
right.
it. You work, right?
Yeah.
Because your brain is hardwired to be in
Mm,
survival mode. So you have to get deep into this self-help stuff, like Think and Grow Rich. You should read that
yeah.
next. You
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
read, you gotta keep because you have to, it's a practice.
I read it, but I read it and I didn't read it in the right like heart. I think I read
Yeah,
it in a spirit of doubt. I think that I've done
exactly.
so much of my life that way of like, I doubt that this is true. And
Right.
you know, the weird thing is that I got, and I talk about this a lot on the podcast. I got my MFA, and so I think myself smart. I think myself experienced, and I what that does is that it limits me from having the full experience of the world, because when you rest on your intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
you just miss out on so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you have to have gratitude for what you already have, because the
Yeah,
universe is not going to send you more if you're not grateful for what you already have. You have to
yeah,
practice gratitude. I know it sounds like, yeah. No, you have to actually be great. You have to show that you're grateful,
yeah,
like, and practice it. I'm so
yeah.
happy and grateful that my
That's right.
kids are healthy. I'm so happy and grateful that I sold 4 books today.
Yeah,
And you have to visualize yourself having the thing that you want.
yeah,
Like, the same way we visualize ourselves in the past, because this is what we're used to doing. We're used to thinking about our problems and mistakes and the things that didn't work.
that's
Our
right.
worst moment in the past, when we think about it, we actually can feel like we're there. It can make us sad all over
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
But what the secret and the law of attraction is about is visualizing the future and putting yourself there and feeling the thing before you
make it
actually have
happen.
it.
That's right.
That's how you manifest. You have to be there before you actually have it, and you have to feel
Yeah,
all of the emotions and smell what it's like and visualize what your computer is going to look like when it shows the millionth sale, and you
that's
got to
right.
be happy now for
Yeah,
what you're going to have in the future.
yeah, yeah.
That's how it works.
It does. It actually does work. I was talking, so I have an episode of the podcast coming out with Andy J. Pizza, which he's one of my favorite people on planet Earth. I told him when I interviewed him that he was my number 2 get. I was like, there's Stephen King and then there's you. And I knew too. I'd rehearsed my intro with him a dozen times before we had the call, because I just wanted to make sure that it was like fluid. But
Yeah, I love that.
I needed him to hear live and in person. You know, if you've listened to my podcast, and I know you have enough, that like I typically do an open by myself. But in
Mm-hmm.
this one, I said, we're going to do things different. I'm going to do my
Mm-hmm.
open with you
Mm-hmm.
listening, because I need you to
Mm-hmm.
hear me. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, you are the person that I have based so much of my podcasting life on.
Mm-hmm.
You're a good man, you're a kind man, and you have given so much to
Mm-hmm.
humanity in your love. Uh, and I wanted him to hear it, because there's something about like blessing a person
Yes.
and just speaking to them that is
Yep.
very different, but it's also vulnerable and it's hard.
Yes.
I'm not going anywhere with this comment
Yes.
except to just
Yes.
say like this is all part of the same thing.
Yeah, it
Is
is.
let's let go of the sense of being the cool kid or whatever
Yep.
that might be,
Yep.
and let's love each other. It's
Yep.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yes. All of that. Like, when you say, like, listen, I am not the same person I used to be like over a decade ago, because
Yeah.
like I am just grateful and happy.
Yeah.
And the more I'm grateful, the more great stuff happens, because I'm
Yeah.
appreciative. And it's, I don't know if you read the book The Alchemist. The
Yeah.
Alchemist
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
the secret.
It
The
is.
Alchemist is the
So
secret.
not only, yeah, exactly. Not only is the Alchemist the secret, but the Alchemist has this additional thing of exactly what happened to me Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the first week that I read The Secret, which was I had that initial bump of success that was like, by the way, you're on the right track. That's what
Yep.
the Alchemist talks about. And that
Yes.
was my biggest
Yep.
takeaway from that book is when you go where you're supposed to go, the universe gives you like
Yes.
an exclamation mark. Hey, you're
Yes.
doing the right thing. Keep
Yes.
doing this.
Yes.
But
The
so many
universe
people,
conspires to work with you to get the thing.
yes, but so many people, I think they see that initial success, and then as it tails off and they have to go to the effort of making their universe, I guess, or constructing their universe the way that it is supposed to be, when results tail off, they're like, oh, it must have been just a an accident or something.
Because they're not believing.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
Yeah.
not a
Yeah.
believer. They're not.
It's almost like the universe gave you what you needed just to know you were there,
Yeah.
even though you weren't a believer. Like
Yeah.
it just told you you did the right thing. Keep going.
Right. It's showing you
Yeah.
evidence
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
your thought process. But again, our brains are old. Like, you know,
Yeah.
we have to survive. So we got to run from the thing that scares us, run from the dinosaur, except for, you know, run
Yeah.
from the wild animals, except for there's no wild animals chasing us
Yeah.
in this time period. So our brains are wired to run from something that's scary. And so
Yeah.
we don't want to be disappointed. All that stuff. Like all of this stuff, you
Right.
gotta get it out. And it's a
Yeah.
practice. You gotta practice it every day.
Yeah.
And you have to be
So
specific because the universe, listen, the universe will send you what you ask for, but if you're not specific, like I manifested a $10,000 speaking engagement,
yeah.
but I wasn't specific and I didn't say I wanted it to be on the East Coast where I am. So
Ah!
you know where my $10,000 speaking engagement was? All the way on the other side of the country. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh man, I gotta do better. But
Uh,
I manifested that. It took a year
yeah.
and yeah, that's my latest
You
manifestation.
you've done some amazing things in the last year. You've had some cool collaborations, some great experiences with some cool people. Talk to me a little bit about each of those people and um, how they came to be. Feel
Yes.
free, yeah, feel free to do the like there's a real coincidence here, you know. I mean, you weren't just like the smartest person in the room. Some things just
No.
sort of came to you.
Yes, I wanted to make money as a writer. That was my manifestation. I want to be rich as a writer.
Yeah.
And so for me, that was ghostwriting for celebrities and CEOs. And yeah, I got to write, you know, for DMC from Run DMC, legendary hip hop artist. I got to write his graphic novel and then his stage play at New York Comic Con with him next month. I got to
Hmm.
write a book for the CEO of Black Girl Ventures, which is a company that Nike gave $500,000 to over the
Hmm.
pandemic. Right now, I'm writing a book for Mike Jarrett from Good Day Philadelphia, Philadelphia's most popular morning show, and
Yeah.
actually just picked up a new client, Johnson and Johnson. I just wrote a
Ooh,
video script for them. Yeah, so
making some baby
yeah,
powder.
yeah. So, uh, I got what I wanted. I wanted to be making a lot of money as a writer, and
You are. Yeah.
that was the path.
So I do with that in mind, I do want to talk about your novels and your own writing. You as Dr. Sheena Howard, um, what's the disconnect? Because you have a novel out there, and I think if I've picked up on anything over the last year, I've picked up on the fact that you really do want to have your own books out in the world. And you do. I'm not saying
Yeah,
you don't, but
right.
at a bigger level than where it is.
Yeah,
So I think that this is kind of where I'm at too, is it's easier to believe all of this that we've been talking about, this manifestation, this thing, it's easier to believe it when it's not the thing that you love the very most, when it's not like the
yeah,
center of your hot, glowing heart.
yeah.
So, talk to me a little bit about why your books, your books, are not where you want them to be.
Yeah, you know, I'm in a tough spot. I feel like I want to be like Toni Morrison. I want
Yeah.
everybody to know me as a writer so that I can impact millions, if not billions, of people and
Yes. Yeah.
inspire them to reach their level. And I don't, some of my books I think are more read than I actually give myself credit for. Like I was just on an
Yeah.
airplane and somebody was asking me about my book, Why Wakanda Matters, and people
Yeah.
on the airplane were like, "That's you? That's your book?" They had the book, they knew the book,
Yeah.
and I, sometimes I'm confused about my actual impact in the world
Mm,
because I
sure.
I just I just went viral on Instagram. I don't know if you've seen my Instagram. I went
No, I
viral. I
haven't,
went
but
from
that's awesome.
5,000 followers to 35,000 in 2 weeks.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
This is a
That's
manifestation,
awesome.
by the way.
First, congrats.
And you know, a lot of people, you know, so two of my books,
Mhm.
Encyclopedia of Black Comics, and then my first book, Black Comics, Politics of Race and Representation, were just in the top five for like the
Wow.
last few weeks on
Oh my
Amazon
goodness.
in the comic book and graphic novel criticism category, which is a tough category. This is not like a thorough. This is not like
Right.
one
No,
book in
that's
this category. This is a
amazing.
tough category.
Yeah.
And they're in the top five, like
Yeah. That's
together.
amazing.
And I
That's
published
amazing.
these books like 10 years ago and 7 years ago.
Wow.
And I feel like for me, the being a successful, well-known writer is kind of a confusing spot for me because I've
Mhm.
done so much. Like I've written for Marvel and DC Comics. I've written a
Yeah.
million people could have read my stuff, right? So
Sure. Yeah.
maybe the manifestation has to be a little more specific. I don't
Mm.
know, because if I say I want millions of people to read my work, I want to be like Toni Morrison.
Mm.
I think I need to be more specific to that.
Okay. Yeah.
I got to get
Yeah.
granular
Yeah.
on what that means. I think I'm putting the pieces together and figuring it out.
Hmm.
I think they all work together. Like the
Mm.
being a rich and famous writer, I'm not embarrassed to
Yep.
say I want to be rich and famous.
Sure.
That's what I want. I
Yeah.
think all the
You know what,
pieces.
though, by the way, let's just real quick. The
Yeah,
fact that you said that is the fact that you're not where you want to be because you still think there might be something wrong with it. You just qualified. And the fact
yeah,
that you qualified means that you haven't fully stepped into it yet. That's what I heard. I know it for myself too, because like
yeah,
I will go oftentimes the best time of day I have for myself in terms of really like digging into manifestation and this whole process is when I walk my dog in the morning, and I will sometimes have to stop everything I'm doing to talk myself through
yeah,
the belief, because sometimes I think either I don't deserve it or it's too lavish or it makes me egotistical.
right.
There's any number of things, and I just heard you do it live
Yes,
and in person. You just
yes,
qualified, and when you qualify, you're not manifesting.
yes. Well, because we're also competing against the culture that we live in, which can be
Yes. And our
hindering.
listeners at the moment,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
like I don't want them
Which
to think I'm a douchebag.
exactly, which can hint, because we have to get to the core of what we really want. First of all, this
Yeah,
manifestation stuff is about getting to the core of what you actually really want as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
And the culture oftentimes makes us feel bad about the things that we want. Like we're not
that's right.
allowed to call ourselves a genius or say my book is the best book ever
Yeah,
written, right? That makes us
that's right.
cocky or arrogant, right? So we got to combat all of those things. So like I was saying earlier, it's a practice every day. Practice
Yeah,
being okay with the things you want. So yes, I did qualify it because I know if you tell somebody you want to be rich and famous, they automatically think whatever
douchebag.
they think. I don't even know what they think, but I know that in
I
America,
don't either.
it's
I know
not
what I
cool to say
think
you
they
want to do
think.
that. Exactly.
Yeah,
So yeah, I qualified it because right, I know people are
yeah,
going to be listening and people are, oh, she just wants to do it because she wants to make money and be famous. Yes,
yeah,
yes, that is
yes.
exactly why.
And the funny thing is too, I want to tell you, you deserve that. I know
Thank
you.
you,
Yeah, you deserve that. You deserve to be rich. You deserve to be famous. You deserve to have everything that you want. You
thank
deserve
you.
that.
And I
Yeah.
think my story can. I want to inspire millions of people to reach their level. Like I feel like part of my purpose is also to inspire people because that's just it's natural for me. People are like inspired by me.
Yeah.
And so just lately I've just been stepping into that like, yeah, I'm a teacher. I'm a
Yeah.
teacher. So yeah, when I don't know when I'll become rich and famous, but it's on the vision board, the millionaire. I want to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
I'm on my way there. I mean, I'm actually
I know
not
you
that
are.
far, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, I know.
It's a process.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the fun thing too. I do think about that because both you and I have had various successes. You more so than I, but I have more than enough money. I have a good number of readers compared to many writers. Um, I have a lot of things, and you have a lot of things, but this desire, this deep hope, this deep longing to do something really, really big, to
Yeah.
have an outsized impact. I think
Yeah.
that's what's
Well, that's
kept
never going to go
us
away too. Yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah. And that's what's kept you and I think, continuing to talk and have so much fun with each other is that it is, and I will say this, it is very rare to meet a person in the world who is willing to say, I want to be Toni Morrison, I want to be Stephen King,
Right.
And
Yes.
you and I are two peas in a pod as far as that is concerned.
Yes.
Like we really actually want and believe that that is our destiny.
Yes.
So I guess let's do slip into the part of this conversation that I will edit out anything that you want me to edit out, but let's kind of pretend that nobody's listening anymore. And let's have
All
that
right.
part of the conversation.
Oh, the good part, the fun part.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, listen, I don't even need a prompt for this one.
Yeah.
I'm like so pissed right now.
Yeah.
Listen, there's this person on
Yeah.
the internet that is in the academic space, and I have way more books than this person. I have a lot
Yeah.
of books, period.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and this person, I won't even give the gender. Hopefully, I don't even give the gender away. This person got an agent. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm already pissed because I'm like, yo, I put in way more into this publishing industry in terms of publishing and showing receipts. I have receipts that
Yeah.
my work is what I say it is.
Right.
He got an agent. I just gendered her. So
Oh
like,
no.
it's okay. It's okay. She got an agent and like now has like hit a list. The list that we all want to hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, this is why I need an agent so I can publish with one of the big five and do my thing and hit a list. So that's great for that person.
Yeah.
But then the person posts something else online and now has like all of these future book deals for books that aren't written with a publisher.
Yeah.
And they're like, they're books that have they're books for like kids.
Yeah.
Which this person doesn't have a history. And it just makes me mad.
Yeah.
It really makes me mad because I start to go into the space of this is super unfair. I mean, I've been publishing for like 14 years. When I say I have like 30 plus things published between the comic book issues, between a book that's a clue on Jeopardy, but like I got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
In that 14 years, I have never once received not even an email from an agent saying, hey, what do you have? I would love to like see what you have to see if we can talk about representation.
Yeah.
I feel like that is crazy, but maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I got this one. And so part of what this person was posting about was her journey about how she got the agent. And she said she like sent like a short, like half a page proposal, and the agent picked up and was like, helped her develop it. Yeah. And dude, what? All you gotta do is send a half a page proposal?
Yeah.
It's like it pisses me off. I know academics, because I'm an academic, that have backgrounds that don't even like light a candle to what I've done. Like they've done great work, but like when you look at my body work, like I've done a lot. They get universities that headhunt them. Hey, come work at this university. You can bring your tenure. I don't get any of that. I've never received any of those types of emails. It's like everything that I have, I've worked for, and I've literally started from zero. Like I don't come from a family that publishes books. I don't come from like, so when you see my platform, my stuff was built literally with my bare hands and like putting my own team together. And again, maybe part of it is because deep down inside, I do want to be the Rocky. I want to be like, yeah, I did it without y'all.
Yeah.
But it still pisses me off. Maybe I'm just a walking contradiction, I guess. But I know an agent would make my life, it would bring me closer to my goal.
Yeah. The last time that we talked, you mentioned a friend of yours who, I think if I recall right, it's something like a parking space or something like that, that there was a part of you that wanted. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I got the parking space, by the way.
There you go. And that's kind of what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about being gifted something and not feeling like you have to pay it back.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're so right. That is a perfect example. Like someone's giving you a free parking spot downtown.
Yeah. This
is a blessing and a gift, and you're like, nah, I don't think I want to take it, because all of these things in your head, it's like you're hurting yourself.
I have to earn
it. Yes.
Yeah. Again, you and
or just whatever things you tell yourself about why you shouldn't have the thing that you want. And that's another
Yeah.
thing about manifesting, because you can manifest all you want, but if
Yeah.
you're not in a position to receive it or handle or
That's
catch
right.
the football to score the touchdown, you're going to squander it.
That's right.
So you have to become the person that can receive the
That will receive
manifestation.
it. Yeah.
Otherwise, you're never going to get that.
Yeah. So, as I'm learning, and again, I mean, I think that you're further down the road, even in manifestation, than I am. But as I'm learning, one of the first things that I wanted to kick off was this idea of hard work. So I was like, I don't want my life to be identified by hard work. I want things that come
Right.
to me effortlessly and easily.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, I do think that there was a moment where I recognized I actually like the feeling of hard work. I like how it feels. I like to do it. I work hard, and that is part of who I am when I'm enjoying my life. There's nothing wrong with working hard. Thinking that working hard is the reason that things come to us is where the problem starts. Thinking for you that you have to be the source of the blessing is where the problem starts. You can work your ass off. You can be really smart. You can be savvy. You can put together the most amazing dry run read of a play. You can do all those things, and that's great. But to think that that is what it like does it is where the
Yeah.
problem starts. And I think
Yeah.
that's where you're at right now. I think that you want the agent based on all of your credentials. And I'm here to tell you, you
Yeah.
have
They
all the
don't.
credentials.
Yeah.
You have everything you need. You are the person already
Yeah.
that deserves all of those things. But I think you have to let go. I think you have to let go of the idea that it's your credibility that's going to get you this. I think
Yeah.
as soon as you let go of the notion that your credibility is what will get it for you, I think it'll come. I really do.
You know what pissed me off? I was on I feel like I told you this, but maybe I didn't. Anyway, I was on this IG live thing, and like somebody I know was being interviewed. So I was like super excited, and I like, asked a question about like agents, and like basically the question was like, why don't I have an agent? But I didn't phrase it like that. I just
Sure.
that was in he who knows my work very well. I've actually worked with this person. His response like pissed me off because he's like, he basically said, well, if you had an audience, you'd have an agent. That's kind
And
of
you're
basically
like,
what he said.
oh, yeah.
Oh, Jody.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I got up that call. I was like, oh, I'm gonna show you an audience. And that's when I started
Yeah.
manifesting the Instagram stuff, because I went to his
Yeah.
Instagram page and looked at his Instagram followers, because he's a New York Times
Oh,
bestseller. And
wow.
he's like had like not that many followers. And I was like, I want to show you an audience. So then I like went hard on Instagram. Now I got 35K followers, 2 books in the top 5 on Amazon. So I'm like, now give me another freaking excuse why I don't have an agent. Give me another excuse.
Yeah. Okay. So this is where we're going to go super duper dark, because I've actually been talking to my wife about this, and this is true. And it is part of this entire conversation we're having. I've been thinking about manifesting, and I've been thinking about the fact that anybody can do it. It's not exclusive to good people. It's not exclusive to people who deserve it. It's exclusive to people who understand it. And so, like, exactly. My wife and I are talking, and I said, "Why do you think that Hitler succeeded?" Because he understood very clearly what he wanted. And if there's ever a dude out there who believed, he freaking believed in his purpose. And so it took a whole hell of a lot of people to believe the opposite thing to stop him. That's a person who believed so wholeheartedly that he harnessed an entire country and essentially the world to do his bidding. So it's not as if for us to achieve our goals, we have to be pure of heart. We really don't. We just have to know what we want. However, I think what makes you a cool person is that at the bottom of you is a really deep desire to do some cool stuff. You're wearing, for people who are not watching the podcast, you're wearing earrings in the shape of the continent of Africa. Like you give a lot of shits about the Black community, and you do a lot for the Black community. there's something really great about that. And then as you were talking to me just now, there was resentment and there was hurt in your heart. And from that hurt,
Yes.
you actually still manifested something really cool with Instagram. I'm not
Yes.
even asking a question. I'm just
Yes.
building a picture right
Yes.
now. Yeah.
And look, when I tell you that universe kicked in, can I tell you, I went viral twice on Instagram in like 2 weeks and on TikTok at the same time. Now, come on.
Yeah.
That's co-creation right there. That comment pissed me off so bad. I said, what?
You're
Oh,
like,
let me
I'm going
call
into
in.
super drive.
Let me call in this quantum physics. Okay.
Yeah.
So now I got an
Yeah.
audience. I got books that are doing great things in the world. I'm getting
Yeah.
10K for speaking engagements, going to EA Sports to help
Mm,
them with their Black Panther video game.
that's so cool.
I'm doing all the things.
Mm,
I'm going to be a New York Times bestseller.
yes.
I
Well,
am,
you
whether it's
are
writing.
already too, right? I mean, you Ghost wrote the book that is a New York Times bestseller, right? So that's
Well,
already,
hopefully it will be. Like the one I'm writing now, I think it will be.
yeah.
And well, no, yeah, it will be. And because I'm going to get that goal no matter if I got to go in the back door or the front door. I don't care how I get it. It's like, and
Yes.
then I'm going to be like, look, I did it without an agent. Right.
Yeah.
That's where my manifestation is getting messed up with the agent. Because I kind of want to
Yes.
be able to say I did it independent. Why? I
Okay.
don't know. There's probably some toxic stuff going on inside of me that I
There,
need to
yeah,
let go
and again, like we just talked about that. It doesn't matter what your intent is. It matters how strongly you do what you do. I am a little bit curious. Are you ready to just give up on the agent? You want to just quit? Like you want to quit
Oh yeah, I
that?
was coming to actually talk to you on
Yeah.
the call. Yeah, I'm giving up
Good.
on the agent.
Awesome.
I'm giving up on the agent,
Good.
and I'm
That's what I
gonna
like to hear.
do this with the people that believe in me because publishers already
Yeah.
believe in me. I publish with like multiple different publishers. They already believe
Yeah.
in me. The people already believe in me. People are buying my books.
Yeah.
Like you believe in me. Like
Yeah.
every people, I already got all the pieces. And I feel kind of bad because I coach clients and
Yeah.
like a lot of them want agents and they're pitching agents. And I'm the person that tells them, don't give up, keep pitching, keep pitching. It's going to happen. And one particular client that I am coaching, who we're actually doing a book together and we've been pitching,
Yeah.
I got to have a hard conversation with him to be like, I know I told you for last year, don't give up, but sometimes you got to let go in order to step into abundance. And
Yeah.
for
Absolutely.
me in
Oh,
my career, for me
say it
in my
again.
yes,
Sometimes you got to let
sometimes you
go
got to
to
let go and
step
quit
into
to step into
abundance.
the abundance.
Oh, beautiful.
Sometimes you
Yeah.
got to let stuff go.
Yeah.
And for me, where I am at in my career, Dr. Howard should not be pitching these agents getting rejections every single.
Right.
I'm up to like over like 60 rejections. This is
Yeah.
that's not where I'm supposed to be, and the universe is telling me that that's not where I'm supposed to be because I'm getting all these rejections from people that
Yeah.
I'm getting rejections from these agents who probably used to be writers who haven't done a tenth of what I've done as a
Right.
writer.
Yeah. Hey, so the best news that I have for you so far is that this past weekend, I met the mother of the acquisitions editor for Simon and Schuster, and I want to connect you guys.
Oh
So
yeah, that's
I don't even know where
awesome.
that's going to go, but for sure,
Listen,
I'll introduce you. And
that's the thing I realized. Like when I
yeah,
really just look at like the publishers believe in me.
yeah,
I've never pitched a
exactly.
book proposal that a publisher did not accept.
Yeah,
I mean, so my publisher
yeah.
now for my book that's coming out in February is called Academic Branding.
Hmm.
We did my marketing plan, and they're like, "Well, do you want to hit a list?"
Mm,
And this is where manifestation comes in because sometimes we don't want to say what we want to the people that can help us because we think what is it going to look like? And I said, "Yeah, I want to hit a
what?
list."
Yeah,
And she's like, "Oh, okay, that's good to know. We got to
let's
change
go.
your marketing plan to help you do that."
Yeah,
So, and I was explaining to her like between all my social media accounts, like I got like
yeah,
70,000, 80,000 people
mhm.
engaging, following me.
Yeah.
And, so I'm letting the agent go.
That's great.
And
I'm
it's
so happy to
hard.
hear that.
It's hard.
I
It's
Isn't that
hard. It's
funny?
hard.
Like that's the entire year's journey for you and I is to undo everything that we were working on together for the entire year. Like at the end of the year, the conclusion is, oh, that thing we were chasing together, it was the wrong thing. Whoops.
That was, yeah, but that's part of it. You got to learn it. That's
I
part of
know.
it. You
Yeah.
got to learn it. And I guess for me, I'm just supposed to, I don't even want see the labels that you speak over yourself and the things that you
Yes.
say are manifestations,
Yes.
by the way. So
Yes.
you can't say
Yes.
certain things like even just side note, like some of these little things that we say, or I was cracking up to death, or right, like
Right.
those little things are manifestations.
Yeah.
Don't say stuff that you
Yeah.
don't want to happen,
Yeah.
and be careful about the labels that you allow other people to speak over you.
Yes. Yeah. So there's another thing that I've been learning. You can look it up after this. I think that it would probably be something that another tool in the toolkit or something. It's called Ho'oponopono.
Oh, I
It's
know that.
Oh, you do know it.
Wait, is that
Okay.
Buddhism? No,
No,
is that
well, so it's actually Hawaiian. I don't know
okay?
all of the roots of it, but
Okay.
I when I was reading The Secret, I started wanting to research other people who are featured. So um,
Mm,
one of the people I found was Dr. Joe Vitale, and he co-wrote a book with a guy named Dr. Hu Len,
okay.
who's Hawaiian. And
Hmm.
the center of it is this really cool thing. It's so simple, but yet profound. It kind of was like the next evolution for me. And it was um, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank
I
you.
heard this. Yeah, this is
Okay.
definitely one of the self-help books that I've read. This
Yeah,
sounds so
it's
familiar. Yes, yes.
frighteningly real. So I have this moment driving down to Cincinnati for the
Mhm.
comic expo, and like as cars are driving past me on Highway 74, I love you, I love you. I don't know who they are. They're just coming
Yep.
toward me, and I love
Yep.
you, I'm accepting
Yes.
you, and then I'm sorry, please forgive me, I thank you.
Yes.
It brought up some things for me that I didn't realize were buried deep. And I'm not even through it. I'm like right in the middle of it right now. It's so fresh that I can't
Hmm.
even tell you what all is happening. But it's funny because as we talk about manifesting our reality, I think that also, and this goes back to when I was telling you, it doesn't matter what your heart is, whether you're ethical or unethical, whether you're Hitler or Martin Luther
Right.
King Jr., you
Hmm.
get to manifest your reality, regardless of your heart.
Yes.
But there also
Yes.
is something to be said for manifesting something good. And I think that that's that like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I thank you.
Yes.
Uh, you said something that kind of brought me there naturally, but I don't remember the connection. So again, I guess I'm observing and like
Yes.
handing it back off to you.
Yes. 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 As you're talking, like, because I have an app called I Am, because I Am
Yeah.
is a big part of this. I am a New York Times bestseller.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
so it sends you these random notifications during the day with little cute
Oh, I love
little
it.
I Am thing. So this one says, it just popped up now. As I make this new beginning, I am committed to becoming the best version of myself. So it gives you
Yeah.
these little I am things, and
Yeah.
because you got to practice it, because your mind is going to take you
Yeah.
back to the old you.
Yes.
And The Secret has an app too. The Secret app
Yes.
actually is, I think it's like $2.99. When I
Yeah.
first started my manifestation journey, I don't have to do it anymore because the principles are like in me. Like
Yeah.
for the first year I did that app, oh my goodness, I manifested so many, because it gives you like
Yeah.
exercises. It has you track how much money you manifest like every day.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So you start to so I started to like track, like, oh, when I get a free latte at the coffee shop, oh,
Oh,
like
yeah.
somebody, and oh, I and it keeps track, so you can actually see how much free money you manifested. Powerful,
Wow.
powerful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it goes back to that fortune cookie I talked about early in this conversation. Is there's something going on? And I think that I am the kind of person who wants to explain away the miraculous,
Mhm.
and kind of like the gift of the universe. And yet it just keeps happening.
Yep.
It's actually like the universe wants us to wake up,
Yes, it does,
right?
because it wants everybody to love themselves,
Yeah. It's so
to feel
weird.
to
It's
feel
so
like,
weird.
yes,
Yeah.
because everybody's better when they're the best version of themselves, and
Yeah.
feeling good. But you
Yeah.
can't, also a caveat, you can't manifest 100% exactly everything you want. You know why? Because you will be the only person living in your world. And what I mean, and this
Oh,
is like
interesting. Yeah.
some of the
Talk
quantum
more about
physics
that.
people talk, some of the quantum physics people talk about this. Like, if you literally manifest everything you want, for people that have been married a long time, you had them days where, like, this person is getting on my nerves. I wish they would just go
Yeah.
away. Like, okay, so you just manifested this person out, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you can't. you can't because the manifestation is working along with
Uh,
all of the other human beings on the planet.
yeah,
It has to move things around. So it can only give you things based on its ability to move the mountains and the other people.
yeah. That's quite literally why I came to that Doctor Who Lynn thing that I was telling you about, is that one of the issues I have with manifestation is that it's only me. And I kind of actually want to manifest, if not manifest, I want to have a positive effect on people around me. So I would find myself out on my dog walks in the morning, and I would try to send love to my middle son. So I think podcast listeners know that my middle son is he has challenges.
Mm-hmm.
He is on ADHD medicine, not because I want him to be, but because he struggles to get through a day in school without making a lot of trouble for himself. And I found myself walking in the mornings and just sending him as much love as I could. And I don't identify necessarily as Christian. I also don't not identify as Christian, but
Right.
there's I do have a tattoo about John 15. I am the vine and you are the branches. And I think a lot about that in terms of how the universe works. Like, we are connected into this thing. And
Yeah.
so there's a vine. And I also think about fungi and how fungi are underground connecting tree roots to each other. So like there's a tree here and there's a tree there, and they actually can share nutrients through this fungal network. That's the vine and the branches. And I think about that, and I want to send so much love to my son. Just get through the day, be the best you that you can possibly be. We're all connected together. And that's how I came to that. What you were just saying about manifesting and being married and being like, I wish you would go away, having that hard day, flipping it too, and just being like, I wish I could send you what you needed to be your best you. I think I'm starting to see the fuller picture of that, but that's fascinating that you brought that up, and it brings me right back to thinking about, like, together we're going somewhere amazing. Like, you and I actually,
Yes.
Dr.
Oh,
Howard and
yes.
Jody are going somewhere
Yes.
amazing together. We're giving
Yes.
each other nutrients
Exactly.
through the air. Like, you're over
Exactly.
in Philadelphia, and here I
Right.
am in Omaha, and I'm sending you good vibes, and you're
Yes.
actually getting them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Like, so I actually like practice Buddhism, and we go anyway.
Yeah.
It's all part of it. Your spiritual thing is part of it, whether you're
Yeah.
Christian or whatever.
You're right.
You can bring that into the fold. It's not. It's about belief. Belief
Yeah.
outside of yourself. Like, there's something up there helping us co-create, because the universe wants us to have what we want.
Yes.
You got to believe it, though.
If we have what we want, everything is better, I think.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
if you get what you want, everybody wins.
Yes. And like, when you say I want to have a positive effect on people, every day you should be saying, I have a positive effect on people.
That's
and
right.
You should be visualizing who Jody needs to be to have a positive effect on people, whatever that means to Jody. And then you actually will start doing the things every day that have a positive effect on people, like saying hi to people, holding the door, asking them if they need help with. And then you will have it's the actions, it's the belief, the actions, the do, the becoming.
Yeah. For the podcast, tell everybody where they can find you, how they can connect with you, how they can help you keep moving forward.
Yes, I'm at Dr. Sheena Howard. That's DrSheena at Dr. Howard everywhere. It's also DrSheenaHoward.com as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun. This last year's been a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yes, I'm so glad I met you. Like,
likewise.
It's so amazing. I wanted a writing coach. It was on my vision board, and then I got you. Crazy.
I'm very thankful.
Yes, me too.